What's up YouTube? This is Racing's Natural Aquariums coming to you today with two local fish store tours. The first one I'm taking you to here is called Healthy Pets, which is pretty close to home, and they've really expanded their fish department. They've actually had, it was basically cat, dog, and some other pet food supplies. Their fish store was actually located in a completely different area in another one of their stores, and within the last year they've actually moved their fish into this store, and I hadn't been there in probably about a month or so, and you can kind of see here that they've actually got quite a nice selection of fish, clean tanks, very healthy fish, everything from your tropicals out to your saltwater to your invertebrates, and coral. So they've actually, since I had been there, expanded more. As you'll see further in the video, they actually stocked up on their saltwater fish. They've always had corals as long as I've been going there, and tropical, and a few saltwater, but they've actually taken one side of the back half of the store, which is their fish department, and have actually increased what they carry. And as you can see, definitely some beautiful fish. I love their small cichlid tank, which is kind of what I'm shooting for next year, the early part of next year, I hope, if I can find a bigger place so I can get my tanks out of my garage and get them set up. And yes, I could set them up in the garage, but unfortunately it's a shared garage with no heat, and it's just a concrete building, so pretty sure everything would freeze up in there, and it's not worth the aggravation. So definitely hunting for a much bigger place so I can set up the rest of my tanks. And I've got fish from here quite a few times, and they've all done well. Their prices are comparable to the other stores in the area. I do shop around every weekend or every other weekend, or whenever the mood strikes. I kind of go out on the weekends and stop at all the stores and see what they've got, what they've brought in new, and check the pricing. Like for example, I was looking at dwarf pea puffers, and one of my stores that's not actually shown in this video had them at $2.99 each. The fish store that you're going to see in the second half of the video, which is really close to me, had them at $3.99, and this store actually sells them for $7.99. So it definitely pays to shop around. As far as quality and health of the puffers, they're all pretty comparable until you get to the price point. And with the puffers, of course, the store that's really close to me, which when I first started getting back into the hobby, I was pretty much a regular there, where they knew what I was looking for, knew me by name, asked me how the fish was doing, how the tanks were doing, wanted to see pictures, the whole 9 yards. Have had these puffers for quite some time, so of course when I decided I might want to get some, they were sold out. But in any case, here at Healthy Pets, as you've seen in this video, definitely a well-stocked store. And as far as their other items, they carry some tanks, they carry lids, lighting, foods, substrate, pieces and parts. Not too much by way of fertilizers and things like that. They may carry some of the, a bottle or two of Flourish Excel or Flourish or iron, but really not too much in the line of fertilizers. So Sometimes it pays to go to the chain store if you need it in a pinch, but I actually order my stuff online, so I'm okay with that. So here, I think this is the grouper. Yeah, that's the big grouper that was staring at me. And there you see their little tanks, their nano setups, their gravel, their turtle setups, their decorations, stands and tanks, pond and turtle supplies. And to the back and to the left is the area that we were in earlier. That section right there that was in blue, that's their coral tanks. They do have some nice looking plants in display tanks that they sell. So in addition to the live plants they sell, they do have the fake plants, which you can see in a lot of their tanks here. Um, I think they might have a few that actually have live in it, but their plant tanks that they do have set up are strictly plants. Where in the other fish store, which you'll see later, they do have some fish mixed in with their low light to mid light plant tank and then their medium to high light plant tanks. I don't think that they are as big as this store. They definitely stock a large variety of fish and plants, but on a much smaller scale. Their fish room is probably half the size of this one. And as you'll see, where the grouper was, that is all pretty much new. They were just tanks that were up and running but not stocked yet. And when I was in there this time, they were actually stocked. Down and around the corner, which you'll see is kind of where they house some of their monster fish that they sell. Some more saltwater, coral, and invertebrates. Staff here is definitely very helpful. One of the two that I deal with there, very knowledgeable. There were parts that I kind of went back and showed you over because there were people that were looking at fish, so I didn't want to film while they were standing there. So here's the second store. This is called Eddie's Aquarium Center, and they are literally in my backyard. And here they have saltwater. They do have some live rock. They have some coral. They have your tropical fish, which you're about to see in just a second. So this is their tropical tanks that basically are L-shaped and run all the way down to the end. And then behind me, they also have tanks with various cichlids. They have frontosas. They have flower horns. In some cases, local breeders will have their stuff in the tanks for sale as well. And then down on the other side, they have their feeders, brine shrimp, and then they have two really awesome puffers that have been there for quite some time, which you'll see later on in this video. So these are their tanks, their plant tanks, and they have the low to mid light tanks up top, mid to high tanks below, and in that they actually do keep fish in with the plants, as opposed to the other store that just has plants in a tank, which I guess there's no harm, no foul, no matter how you do it, whether fish in it or fish not in it. I would think probably a little bit more of a benefit to have the mold created by the fish in. And that basically is their all tropical wall all the way down there to the end of the row. And they have striped Raphaels, white clouds, cardinals, neons, platies, swords. Here, though, they do keep live plants in their actual fish tanks that they do sell attached to driftwood and things like that. So, and as you could see, there was a little tag on that one tank, and that tag basically is letting you know as a consumer that those fish aren't for sale, that they're in quarantine. So it's definitely cool to see that, the store definitely takes care of its fish. It brings them in, puts them in quarantine, holds them off for sale, and it also shows that they care about their customers and trying to give them the best and healthy fish as humanly possible. So he kind of reserves the bottom row for the quarantine tanks, and then he has a room off the side that has other quarantine tanks. So they definitely take care of their fish. They basically send out emails every Friday with what's new, what specials are going on for the upcoming week. So they're definitely a decent store. They also sell rock, they sell driftwood. They also have, he's in the business of pond supply, so he's got various pond filters and everything else. Also, with this store, for those who have watched the show Tanked, they did a build in a local liquor store here in my area that they set up. I want to say it was a champagne glass tank or a bottle tank. I don't remember which one. But from what I had heard, they basically just set the tank up, threw the fish in, and left. And it wasn't too long after that that the tank and the fish really needed help. So the crew here, or the staff at Eddie's, were actually called in, and they actually got the tank stabilized. They got the fish healthy, and they're now charged with maintaining that tank, which is also something else they do. They go around and they do tank maintenance and things of that nature. So definitely know what they're doing. They hold classes more so during the winter months, but they do hold like introductions to freshwater plants, freshwater tanks, getting into salt water. So they do a lot of little classes in a classroom section that they have set up off to the side of the store, and it's all free. And in some cases, they give you, if you sign up, you may get a discount off a product, or like a $20 gift card or something like that. So they definitely give back to the community, which is a plus. And like I said, being close to my backyard, you can definitely drop some money, and it's just a nice place to go to and walk around, whether you buy something or not. And the other store that was in the beginning of the video, they're only another 20 minutes away from here. And then, of course, I have a smaller store. Actually, I have two more stores. One I haven't visited yet, Pet Supply Plus, which I didn't even know sold fish until I got a flyer in the mail. They were doing neons at $1 a piece, and they carry feed and everything else. So I'm going to probably take a trip over there at some point. And then I have Benson's, which is a chain store, and their prices aren't too bad. Their selection is not bad at all. Fish-wise, definitely small. It's kind of a U-shaped display with a few tanks in there, but the fish are well taken care of and healthy as well. And then, of course, I've got the Petco and the PetSmart. In my area, I prefer the PetSmart. They just seem to have a much cleaner tank or a cleaner system, and the fish look a lot healthier. I have purchased some because my other stores didn't have what I was looking for at the time. And, over a year later, they're still doing well. They're still healthy. With Petco, it's been hit or miss. Buy a fish, and within 2 weeks, they're dead. And then usually going in there, it's quite difficult to get help. There's nobody there. And then, of course, when you don't need help, they're like, can I help you? Can I help you? Can I help you? But I was just in there recently. Oh, and there's Mr. Puffer. You can see the teeth on this. Can you imagine him clamping onto your finger? But as I was saying, I was in Petco. PetSmart actually had plants on sale, and of course we all know that they sell a lot that are not aquatic or semi-aquatic. But they had a sale for $4.99 and up on various plants, and the plants actually look great. So I went to Petco because, of course, I had a $5 rewards that I had. So they carry certain foods that the other doesn't. So I happen to go in there and look, and their plants are normally $4.99 as opposed to being on sale at Petco at $4.99. And I got a few plants that actually looked pretty good. They were doing well. But I got one that as I took it out of the container, it looked okay at the top, but the bottom was all rotted. So they actually replaced it and worked on. So with that, they did replace my plant. And I did mention to the supervisor that was on that night about some other plants not looking too well and being dried out. And they may need some attention. So however it was taken was taken. I do have a plant that's doing a lot better. And that's it pretty much. I hope you enjoyed the two-store tour and enjoyed some of the fish that I have at my disposal, at my access here locally. So I've got it pretty good. I have 2 local fish stores, 2 box stores, and one kind of in between. They are a chain, but they aren't too bad. And I appreciate everybody stopping by, and like, comment, and subscribe. Certainly subscribe if you haven't done so. Hopefully I'll be getting some more content as we start to get into fall and winter when I have more time. And much love and respect to all the members of the fish family. I definitely enjoy getting up in the morning with my coffee and trying to watch as many of the videos as I can. Hopefully I'm going to have a reveal coming of something that I had been working on, as well as tonight I should have, when I get home, an unboxing on the Nicrew 20-inch light from Amazon. I have read some decent stuff about it, and that should be there when I get home. So hopefully later on tonight I'll be doing an unboxing on that, if not some point during the week. And once again, this is Racing's Natural Aquariums, thanking each and every one of you for stopping by. I definitely have much love for my fish family, and my apologies that I have not been around an awful lot. Sometimes I'm lurking, other times I'm just so busy. So please don't forget me. I'm still here. I'm still doing it. I'm trying to help out where I can, and hopefully over the weekend, because I'm going camping, I might try to do a video on driftwood and things like that, what you can find around your local lakes and ponds and beaches and things like that, if I can get near the water where I'm camping. But other than that, Racing's Natural Aquariums wishing you a blessed day. God bless. Thank you for stopping by, and as always, keep those sleeves wet.